Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at people who are heartbroken. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I was at my longtime boyfriend's college reunion. All of a sudden, a beautiful woman came into view and he got all excited saying, "Rose, is that Rose from my class?" She was a former classmate and came over to our group. My ex then put his arm around me and said to Rose, "I had a big crush on you in college. If this one, meaning me, ever gets hit by a car, I'm going to call you because you're really the one for me." Yeah, that's a sign to break up. Cue the awkward silence. Suddenly, every red flag I've been ignoring was bathing in my face. Thanks, Rose, for suddenly appearing. Without you, I would have endured a horrible marriage and a messy divorce. Okay, yeah. Thank gosh I didn't ever get married to this person. The fact that he's even like, yeah, I wouldn't care if my girlfriend died in a car crash. I would call you straight away. Okay, like, what kind of ego is that too? Because what makes you think Rose wants you? Hello? Nobody wants someone pathetic like you? Heard my partner laughingly tell friends I was a placeholder until someone better came along. Dude, that's so sad. This is actually a thing because I've heard one of my guy friends be like, yeah, I'm just dating her, but I know I'm not going to marry her. They've been dating for 5 years, by the way. I'm just like, why don't you just break up then? And basically this is the thing, you know? He's gonna wait until he finds someone better. I overheard a conversation between my mum and grandmother when I was a teenager pretending to be asleep. My mum said she's so desperate for love and attention. I'm worried she's gonna get knocked up or end up with someone bad. My mum literally never said I love you to me in my life. I once asked her for a hug and she told me she found it disgusting to touch me. I told her I needed to feel loved and her response was, "I thought you'd have a boyfriend by now." When I overheard that conversation, I wanted to run out of my room and scream in her face. I had been begging her to even slightly fulfill her role as a parent for years, and her takeaway was that I was desperate for attention. This makes me so sad. What? Why would you ever say that to your kid? I can't believe my kid is so desperate for love because I never show them love. Huh? What kind of parent are you? Holy shit, don't ever have kids if you're like this. We'll get ice cream later if you just play with her for a little while. She's like that because her mum just died. You won't have to deal with her forever. I said to a girl who I thought was my friend and had appreciated up until that point because she was the only one who I thought wanted to play with me after my mum died, even though I would sometimes start crying out of nowhere and had severe anxiety. I was 9 and didn't play with anyone for over a year after this because I assumed I was making people deal with me by being around. Wow. Man, that's so sad. What the hell? I kind of struggled in elementary school. It was a Catholic school that charged tuition. One night I overheard my mother say something like this to my father. "We keep paying all this tuition money for what? For her to be stupid?" Oh. But you know, the apple doesn't fall so far from the tree. Honestly, like, if a kid is stupid, I'm judging the parents and I judge the kid. That one is going to be in heat soon. A friend of my grandfather to him. He agreed. I was 12 and the only thing I was interested in were horses. They were all well into their 80s. I felt so disgusted being talked about and viewed like that. That one's gonna be in heat soon. Are they talking about like an animal? What? That is crazy to talk about a 12-year-old like that. Wow. Overheard my in-laws say they hoped our marriage wouldn't last because I wasn't good enough. Yo, in-laws always be jealous and salty. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Live your life. My best friend said they only hung out with me out of pity because I didn't have other friends. Yeah, it's better to have no friends than have a friend like that, okay? I jokingly said that I'm pretty and I deserve a handsome man to my mom and uncle when I left the room and I heard them laughing so loud and mocking me. She thinks she's beautiful. I don't think she'd ever seen her face in the mirror. That was my mom and it broke me. See, I don't get parents like this. Hello? She came out of you. So, you know, if you don't find her beautiful, then you're not either. Crazy. And like, how does a parent even view the kid like that? You know, like, how do you find your own kid ugly? That's crazy because there are other parents who will just find the kid beautiful no matter what. When I was 12 or 13, I spent a summer with my aunt in another state to give my single mother a break. Back then, I adored my aunt and just thought it was a fun, exciting summer getaway, like camp or something. My mother was neglectful and extremely abusive. I told my aunt and her boyfriend about things my mom had done over the years, and they listened but never really made any comment. One night they were on the porch and I was supposed to be sleeping in the room which had windows that opened onto the porch. I heard my aunt's boyfriend say I was the biggest bullshitter he'd ever known. My aunt agreed and said someone needs to keep an eye on that one. She's manipulative as hell. 2 years later, I was in foster care because of the abuse and because my mother simply disappeared, and to this day, 30 plus years later, I still think my family holds me responsible somehow. Not that I've spoken to any of them in several years. That's crazy. Hello? How are you gonna say that when a kid is like, my mom's abusing me, and then you're gonna be like, she's the biggest bullshitter, huh? This is why most kids don't ask for help, because no one believes them. If I had known how bad his home life had been at school, I'd been nicer to him. I overheard that said by a little shit I worked with when I was a student who had been at school with me. I wasn't heartbroken or upset, I was just livid. You shouldn't have to know how tragic someone's background is to justify being nice or being civil to someone. Just be. Wow, so well said. That's so true. Honestly, just be nice. It doesn't matter what the background is, just be nice to them. Like, there's no point being nice to someone just because they have it bad, right? Even if someone has it good, be nice. I accidentally read a message from my wife saying I've resigned myself to my husband because I couldn't find anyone better. It was like a stab in the heart, and now I just don't know what to do. It feels like my whole life has been one big lie. Wow, that's sad. Dude, I'd be broken too. You know, if I found out someone's with me because they thought they couldn't find anyone better. I mean, if you're very positive and very optimistic, you could see it as a sign that you're the best one. That's why he couldn't find anyone better. Right? A girl I liked in school in the 90s but actually hadn't met after seeing my picture said to my friend, I wish you looked how he sounded on the phone. He sounded so much better looking on the phone. We'd been chatting for a while. She didn't know I could hear her. I died a little that day too. Damn. These kind of things you don't say to anyone, honestly. Obviously, there are some people who just sound so good, right? Like, their voice is just so attractive. And you should just like them for that. Oh, he has a really nice voice. You don't have to make it like a backhanded compliment, you know? Like, oh, I wish he looked better than his voice sounds. Like, what the hell is that? You know, you can appreciate one thing someone has, right? That I wasn't really family because I was a stepkid. My father confessed this had been said by someone in my stepmother's family after I asked why said person was not at my high school graduation. It has since been explained that this is not exactly what was said, and that this was only how my dad took it at the time, and that he was still mad when he explained it to me. But still, at 17, when I was already struggling to figure out who I was, that hurt. And it did a lot of damage between me and my stepmom's family. I mean, dude, I'm glad the father has their back though. I was a server in a restaurant and we effed up badly. And this was in Times Square in a packed restaurant full of tourists who needed to make it to Broadway shows in time. And our kitchen completely crashed. Nothing was coming out. Simple appointments and salads took an hour to reach the table, and the customers were rightfully pissed off. Management was not on the floor because they were all in the kitchen screaming at the cooks to go faster. One of my tables, 2 women and 2 preteen girls had enough and had to run to make the show. They left, but not before yelling every horrible thing they could think of at me. One of the girls caught my eye and mouthed, "I'm sorry," as her mother was berating me. The mother grabbed her arm and took her aside, and as I walked past, I could hear her saying, "Don't ever apologize to someone in service." And the girl was crying. Oh my gosh, imagine teaching a kid to be a shitty person when they grow up. Holy. That's not it. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, honestly, I hope this mom's kid becomes a server one day. And when her kid comes back crying, telling her what happened, I wonder how she's gonna feel. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!